Hey, it's me, Moro. Pope Francis. So recently, very recently, Pope Francis, he actually made a speech at a conference about autism, and this speech he wanted to destigmatize autistic people, and he ended up doing quite the opposite. It's always quite horrifying when this happens, but I'll read out a bit of his speech, and you'll get an idea what's going on. Assistance to people affected by autism spectrum disorder would benefit greatly from the creation of a network of support and services on the ground that are comprehensive and accessible. Okay. Now, I am not a disorder. I am not affected by anything. Okay? Autism and Asperger's is the person. Okay? It's not some horrid disease that you are affected with. This is simply incorrect. This is counterfactual, and he's spreading this garbage around. It's not. Throughout the whole speech, the language he uses is that autistic people are sick, are affected by this sickness of autistic spectrum disorder. That's not the case. That's absolutely not the case. You're not an NT person that is afflicted by something horrid. You are an AS person. You are an Aspergian. You are an autistic person. This business of you're a person that's affected by autistic spectrum disorder is just bullshit. Throughout, he mentions that. Throughout, he refers to us, people like me, as sick, or refers to it as a pathology, or uses the words healing. We need healing. No. This is just, it's not true, okay? I'm not sick, I'm not, suffering, I'm a person, okay? I should not have to say that, I shouldn't have to say that, I'm a person and not a sickness. I'm an actual human being. I shouldn't have to say this over and over. This is just absolutely horrifying. Moreover, I want to encourage the hard work of academics and researchers so that they may discover therapies and support tools to help and heal, there's that word again, and above all, prevent the onset of these conditions as soon as possible. Okay, let me stop right there. Oh, doesn't that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside? No, we don't. We don't want to prevent autism and Asperger's. I'm actually quite proud to be an Aspergian. I wouldn't want to suddenly be an NT. I wouldn't want to not exist. This is just. It's always quite shocking when people can't realize the ethical implications of wanting to prevent autism and Asperger's. These are not things you want to prevent. These are good things. These are beneficial things. These are valuable things. And to say prevent the onset, that tells me that there are people out there that don't value me as a person, that will say that I am affected by, Asperger's, affected by, autism. And it's always quite horrifying, that there would be people out there like this. We need to start recognizing these people as a plague on the human species, because this business of preventing the onset. This is just eugenic elimination. With most scientific endeavours and most artistic endeavours, it has always been progress by someone that is very different, thinks very differently, and is willing to go outside the boundaries. And this, and wanting to suddenly get rid of that, is just absolutely, is quite monstrous, because there's nothing wrong with these people. We should not be preventing the onset. It's the same as wanting to prevent people that are left-handed. It's just absolutely sickening that there are people out there that would want to get rid, would be more than happy if they just had a button they could press and suddenly Asperger's and autism would just disappear. That is absolutely vile. It's also important to note that at this conference that the Vatican held, the only speakers that were allowed to speak there, the vast majority of them were from an organization called Autism Speaks. If anyone is familiar with them, they know that they are a hate group. And to put it into perspective for religious people, there's I'm going to quote a Bible verse here. It's called Proverbs 17:15. He who justifies the wicked and who condemns the righteous are both alike an abomination to the Lord.